In 2002, Michael Jackson carried his then 9-month-old son to the balcony of their suite at the Adlon Hotel in Berlin and proceeded to hold him over the railing to show him off to his cheering fans. Photographers tried to see the child, but his face was covered with a towel. The fans didn't appreciate this action. An outraged headline appeared in the press after the incident, and the King of Pop had to apologize for what he did. Since then, 20 years have passed. What happened to that child? How does he look now, and what does he do? Keep watching to find out. This is Wow Channel. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications. Let's begin! Everyone called him the King of Pop and the most successful pop artist in history, but few people understood at what cost he got it. His family was very poor and they had to work hard day and night to be successful. The father, Joseph Walter Jackson, created the group Jackson 5, which consisted of 5 of his sons. Little Michael was among them. He started performing on stage at the age of 5. The father was very strict and sometimes used force to bring up. The little boy spent all his time in rehearsals, and he had no time at all for games and walks with other children. Even then, Michael made a decision. Someday he will have his own children, and he will do everything so that they have a happy and carefree childhood, and he kept his promise. Thanks to hard work, fame and fortune came to him. Millions of fans around the world adored him. The paparazzi followed him everywhere, but despite the success, he dreamed of simple happiness, to start a family and find loved ones. In 1994, Jackson secretly married Lisa Marie Presley, daughter of Elvis Presley. Most of all, the singer dreamed of having children, but his wife was not ready for motherhood. Therefore, 2 years after the wedding, they had to get a divorce. In the same year, Michael married a second time to finally make his dream come true. His wife was the former nurse Debbie Rowe, who bore him 2 children, a son, Prince Jackson, and a daughter, Paris Jackson. But there was no love in this marriage. Debbie later confessed that she and Michael never had a physical relationship. To get pregnant, she was artificially inseminated. All that the singer wanted from this woman was for her to give birth to long-awaited children. As a result, the couple broke up. Debbie gave custody of the kids to Jackson and received $8 million for this. But the boy, which will be discussed today, was born later from another woman. On February the 21st, 2002, Jackson welcomed his third child, Prince Michael Jackson II. This baby was born from a surrogate mother. Michael claimed the woman wasn't aware he was the father, and he likewise didn't know who she was. All he cared about at the time was her intellect, health, and vision. But according to Mirror, the baby's surrogate mother was a Mexican nurse named Helena. Michael chose her because she had a Latino background, but she was also a US citizen and had quite fair skin. Pop singer liked her because she was very attractive and seemed stable and intelligent. She was a nurse or medical assistant, which he also liked. Helena received about $20,000 for surrogacy and never saw this child. Prince Michael Jackson II is probably the only biological child of the King of Pop, because the rest of the children don't look like him at all. Immediately after the birth of the boy, Michael brought him to the Neverland ranch. where he was looked after by a nurse and a nanny. The boy firstly appeared in public with a great scandal. In November 2002, Jackson showed the child to the fans. He carried the baby in his arms to the balcony of a hotel in Berlin and threw him over the railing. At the same time, the boy's face was hidden by a towel. Michael Jackson probably imagined himself as the subject of the film The Lion King at that moment, but the fans were confused. What if the child could have fallen? Michael had to publicly apologize for his act. These shots have spread all over the world, and the boy was nicknamed Blanket because his face was usually obscured by a blanket in public to keep his identity a secret. Michael didn't want to show his children, as he hoped that they would someday have a normal life. Fame was a heavy burden for Jackson. He didn't want the same fate for his kids. That's why he forced them to put on masks before going out. Growing up, Blanket's family tried to give him a normal life by sending him to a regular school. He was also exposed to sports and made friends, but while his siblings warmed up to public life as they got older, Blanket remained the rarely seen one. This boy and his siblings had everything one could ask for. They had a happy childhood at Neverland Ranch. There was not only a huge house, but also a large amusement park where children could play and have fun all day long. Michael Jackson made his dream come true. His children had a real carefree childhood. The king of pop played with them and felt like a child. The kids adored him. Paris, Prince, and Blanket always had only good things to say about him. These children had everything except one thing: maternal love. And perhaps that's why after the death of Jackson they plunged into a deep depression. The biological mother of the older children, Debbie Rowe, barely saw them, and the youngest, Blanket, didn't know his mother at all. In 2009, when Michael Jackson passed away, Blanket was only 7 years old. He lost his father, and it was a terrible blow for him. Among the 3 children, Blanket was the one who struggled the most following his father's death. People revealed from a source that he became very lost and extremely upset. After Jackson's death, his mother Catherine took custody of his children. Blanket also always felt the support of his older brother and sister, but most likely he felt alone. After all, he never saw his mother and lost his father so early. In addition, the shy teenager began to be embarrassed by his nickname Blanket. So when he was 13 years old, after being bullied for years, he changed his name to BG. This decision probably helped him to gain more confidence. After Jackson's death, his children began to appear in public more often and show their faces without masks. Paris and Prince Jackson even seemed to love being the center of attention. Unlike them, BG always keeps a low profile. He rarely appears in public with his siblings. Because of this, he earned another nickname, Invisible Boy. BG is very close to his older brother, Prince. They two are best friends who love sci-fi and science. The youngest Jackson child also celebrated his 18th birthday alongside his siblings at a sushi restaurant in 2020. From that moment on, BG began to manage his huge fortune himself, which is estimated at $100 million. And the first thing he did was to buy himself a large mansion in the Calabasas area of California for $2.6 million. The property has 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and a stack of parking space. Now BG lives not far from the world's biggest stars, such as Kanye West, Drake, the Kardashians, and Will Smith. Today, BG is 20 years old. With so much money, he does not need to earn a living, so he can do whatever he wants. Since childhood, he expressed an interest in film and directing as a potential career path. He previously said, "I'm not that kind of person who sings and dances. When I grow up, I want to be a director." He runs a YouTube channel along with his brother Prince. The Jackson brothers have reviewed a number of films via the account. BG gave a rare interview in 2021 and spoke about his desire to make an impact in the world. "That's what each of us wants to do, make things that people enjoy, but also benefit their lives," he said. The youngest Jackson is also passionate about climate change. "I do think it's important we all know about it. We have some work to do, but our generation knows how important it is," he shared. As Michael Jackson dreamed, his youngest son BG has a quiet life. He is not followed by paparazzi and does not need to be popular to make a living, because he received an inheritance that will probably last him for the rest of his life. The king of pop, who never had a real childhood, gave his kids not only a happy childhood, but also a carefree life where they don't have to work hard and prove to people that they are worth something. Do you think it's great to have everything you want from birth, or is it better to achieve it yourself? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share your thoughts with me, to click like and to subscribe. See you next time!